Shivas Gula Shol, Zman Chayref, Ben David Ba, Motzi Shvi Shteigin. Let's diggity do it. So, Rabosai, I wanted to start shir today by just addressing a question that we had on Sefer Ovadia. Right? Remember we had a question on Sefer Ovadia? This question is, okay, so we learned last week, very interestingly, that, wait a second, Ovadia was giving Nevuah to Edom, to the Shibud, to Esav, to Ovadia is giving Nevuah to Edom. And we're like, and so someone asked in Shir on Thursday, last Thursday, he said, wait a second, but Edom was nothing back then. What was Edom back then? Edom, like, it was before the Roman Empire, Ovadia. It was during it was the first temple period. And Edom didn't come in until the second temple period and destroyed the second temple eventually, right? The Romans. So what was Ovadia? Who was Ovadia? Who was he giving Nevuah to? Like a bunch of nothings, a bunch of like non-empire people. So I did a little research, and before the Roman Empire, you had Edom. They were still around, and they were still an empire, and they still were probably pretty crumb, you know. Who are they known as? I'm going to say a name, and you might say, both of you guys might say, like, oh, I heard of that name, but had no idea who they were, which was the camp that I was in when I found this out, that this was the Etruscans.
The Etruscans?
The Etruscans.
Interesting.
Anyone here ever heard of it? Oh, Martin Dahl, very, very wise person, just came in this year. He could probably tell us about the Etruscans. The Etruscans were they were Edom, they were the Edomites before they became the Roman Empire.
Wow.
They were in Tuscany. That's like Etruscan.
Tuscany, that's what I was thinking.
Right? So anyway, so that was who Obadiah, Barnea, and Barnea texted. Wow, I'm unbelievably humbled. He said, "Good thing you consulted with me and reviewed Professor Erez Ben Yosef's work." So he happens to know that I didn't consult with him and review Erez Ben Yosef's work, but I would love to, after share, I'm going to have a talk with Barnea, with Rabbi Barnea Levi Hakayan Sullivan Zagazuntin Stark, and that's the name. And we're going to find out, we're going to talk a little bit about Obadiah, and he'll tell me about the Etruscans. He knows. Me and Rav Sullivan, we had a chavrusa when I was in Shana Aleph, and we learned the fifth parak of Gittin. Wow. And the fifth parak of Gittin is all about the Romans. Little did I know that I was going to become a serious zach in Yeshivas Gula Shol's mahalach on the shibud and understanding all that. We were just learning about the Chorban Bayesheni. I had no idea about anything about that stuff. So thank you again to Barnea for having that chavrusa with me, and thank you to his Eishes Chayil, Rebbe's in Sullivan, for making delicious baked goods and milk. So a few times a week I would go to his house and I would just press and he would steig. He was very maridik. Shalom Aleichem Abi Mayri. And Tzvi Lifshitz is also here. Shalom Aleichem Tzvi. Okay, we're holding in Avoda Zara of Yud Beis Amud Aleph. Tanu Rabbanan. Right there. Tanu Rabbanan. Our rabbis taught in a Braise. Rabbis taught in a Braise. Very good. Ir sheyesh ba v'res go chavim aser likanes b'saycha. So a city that has idolatry in it, you cannot enter inside of it. V'lo misocha le'ir acheres. And not only can you not go into it, but l'chayra, you can't even pass through it to get to another ear. To another ear. I said that for Barnea. Ear. You get it?
But the other day we learned if you're on the road, you can pass through.
So we learned that was a shita. That was a shita that was brought up. That was a shita that was brought up that you can pass through it. That was one of the shitas.
No, there's no stira there.
Wait, why is there no stira, you think?
Because it was saying that you could travel on a derech that goes past it, not that goes in it.
I think the Mishnah was saying like this. It says, Mahu leilech l'sham, asked the Mishnah, right? Yud Alef Beis, the Mishnah. Bizman she'aderech miyuchedes la'oso makom aser, v'im hayachol leilech ba l'makom acher, So when it says Leilech Ba, it's talking about the path, right? Path is Nekeva. So when you can, it says Leilech Lisham, to go to there, right? Irshiyesh Ba Avodas Kochavim Chutza LaMutter. Right? Okay. So first of all, it could be, by the way, that our Mishnah is a different shita, right? Very good, jumping in and asking that question from our Mishnah. But what we're learning now is a brisa, which is also Tanayim. So it's okay. Mishnah and a brisa can argue. Our Mishnah seems to say that if there is a path that can go, right, that can go to other places, if there is a, hold on, I just need to, if there's a path that can go to other, I wanted to see like who that person that I said, but I'll just ask him. Okay. So Tana Rabbanan, so let's learn the brisa. Meaning that according to the Tana Kama in the brisa, you can't even go through it if you're just passing through. Right. The Chayra from our Mishnah, but Shligs said, well, maybe our Mishnah is not even a contradiction, not even a machlokas with our Tana Kama. Maybe the Tana Kama is the guy who teaches our Mishnah, because maybe our Mishnah is only saying that you can go on the path that's on the way, but not actually going into that area. Even though it says Leilech Lisham. So we've got two answers to your incredible question, Zalman. Okay. To enter it, and enter it in a different way. Different Meir. So our Tana Kama was actually Rebbe Meir, right? We happen to love Rebbe Meir, because Rebbe Meir's Rebbe wasn't from. He was, not only was he not from, he was total shibud. He held Shei Rishuyos. He was thinking.
Who was that?
Elisha ben Avuya. Elisha ben Avuya. Rabbi Elisha ben Avuya is Rabbi, so that's what Rebbe said. Rebbe says, don't go anywhere near. He knows. He's like, yo, my Rebbe went to the Pardes, and then he came out talking Shei Rishuyos. Right. And we are like Rebbe is like, we don't want to go anywhere near that. The Chachamim Omrim. Shlegs, read the rest of that brisa, please.
The Chachamim Omrim, Kol Zman Shaderech Miuchedes L'Oiso Makom. Yes, sir. Ein Haderech Miuchedes L'Oiso Makom Muter. So, the Chachamim say all the time that the path only goes to that place, it's forbidden. And when the path doesn't only go to that place, it's allowed.
Very good. So now what do we see the teretz is to the question of Zalman? That, wait a second, didn't we learn that you're allowed to go inside if it's on a path to somewhere else? Answer, our Mishnah is not Rebbe Meir. Our Mishnah is the Chachamim.
Okay.
Right? The brisa brings, the Mishnah just brings the Chachamim. They don't even bring Rebbe Meir. The brisa, it happens to be that Rebbe Meir is chaylik on this Mishnah.
Got it.
Right? Nice reading of brisas. Right? Yashav lo coats bifnei avodas kochavim. So there's a, who knows what a coats is?
Like dates?
No.
Okay. And I'm blinding them.
Correct answer. Good blood.
What was that?
Coats. I said it's the correct answer to say he doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's always right. The person's never wrong. The person says I don't know is always correct. Correct. Well, unless he knows. I guess you do know. And then I would say you know. We have the word coats in one of the songs we sing at the wedding. We say Mi ban siach shoshan chochim, shoshan ben achotzim. It's basically chochim coats the same thing. It means like thistles or prickly things, right? Coats. Okay, so anyways, Yeshiva coats. Maybe there is some etymological connection with the word kates, because kates is like the end, and this is a very pointy end. By Bleib. All right, so there was a coats in front of the words Lo yishcha v'yatilana v'meishenira k'mishtachah v'avodas kochavim. He shouldn't bend down and pick it up because it looks like he's bowing down to avodas kochavim. Remember that story of Echana? where the evil Roman, l'chayra Chana was based by Sheni. So the evil Roman Shibud, probably pedophile, definitely Satanist. So he was killing all these kids, right? He killed 7 kids. Then the last one was left. He's like, listen, you don't even have to bow down. Just bend down and pick up my ring, right? All the people will think that you obeyed me, but it won't even mean a thing, right? The young boy said, stop right there. He cut him off. He said, I've heard enough. I rather give my life than have the people think I fear you more than I fear the one above. The general was enraged. The blood ran from his face. He stuck his sword through the child, and he died in his mother's embrace. Crazy. Poor Chana's crying and wailing was enough to make anyone numb. A woman who just lost her 7 sons. She said she held her son's body and she cried out, my son. Oh God, I'm gonna cry, Mr. Baby. I've got more and more like my dad. I get more and more like my dad, crying from songs and movies. My dad cries from commercials. But it says, it's like, oh my God, it's so sad. But I can't, this song is so beautiful. So she said, and what she says to him, she says, while he's dying, right, while his son is dying in her arms, right, she says to him, my son, when you go greet Avram Avinu in heaven, tell him you were prepared to sacrifice 1 son. I actually sacrificed 7. Tayenu miskanshin. My dad's laughing. Tayenu. Oh, shalom aleichem, Gil. Tayenu miskanshin. Kichezu advasa. Timein v'shailin lebi esek asvasa. Right? The nations. And when it says the nations, not talking about our friends down the street, We're talking about the pedophile, idolaters, Satanists, Shibud Malchias, people who destroyed the second base of Mikdash and who are continuing in their idolatry today. So these people, they believe Treirishios. They think that there's a God and there's an equal and opposite Satan. Chas v'shalom. I think when it says Chas v'shalom, such an idea. These people cannot understand, right? These people cannot understand how we can be Moser Nefesh for Torah Kedosha. They can't understand. They can't understand that it's all Eibishter. They think that everything's different. Everything is distinct. There's 2 domains. Something's God does, something Satan does. It's crazy. It's absolute chaos in their lives. But for us, ma'aminin b'nei ma'aminin, that we know that Hashem Echad and that everything is Eibishter, and so we also know that death is really just a transition into something. We don't know exactly what, but we believe in some sort of Olam Haba, Moshe Mashiach type deal. And we know that there's something after, and so we're willing to give our lives, our earthly life, right? They say, Minanu manu rechimu shapiru berevaza arum begine saviz bidor aryavasa. They say, who is this person that's so amazing, right? That will just that is so beautiful, so amazing. Who is your love that you're willing to get thrown into a bear cave for him? They say, come join us, we'll give you all these earthly stuff, right? We say you're not even interested, right? Boz Yavuzulo. Obamunist. Listen, Obamunist, puppetist. But listen, Obama's definitely very evil, so we agree with that. Freaking Obama. There's a day, just a day. Just bring down a day that there's a day that says that Hitler didn't really die in that bunker, and he really was able to escape to South America. And in South America, he had a few girls, and one of them had sex with some guy in Africa, and that's where Obama was born. There's a daya. That's why there's a daya. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying we don't know. But there's a daya that Obama is Hitler's grandson. A daya.
There's a daya.
Daya. So, anyways, they cannot comprehend. The Shibud cannot comprehend us, right? That's why, like, they think and the best example of the Shibud not understanding us. Obama's an evil demon. Could be. In the Shita, I haven't yet gotten to anything supernatural. You know, in the Shita, in the Shita, like, it could be a demon, it could be a reptile. All of those Shitas, we know about them, but we haven't found rayas for those opinions yet, and also we don't need them. It's very possible that these people are evil. Now, if you want to say, no, he's different, he's not a human, he's not the same as us, also possible, because there is a shita that says that because Cain had kids. Hevel didn't have kids. We're all Seth. We're Semitic. We're all from Seth. But there are people from Cain, right? This is in Yoni Diyayim over here. And Cain, that might be China. So, you know, there are all of these things. So it might not be like the same, they might be like a little bit of genetically dispersed from us. But they're definitely trying to ruin our genetics with their vaccines, yeah. With their clickety-clack scenes. I hope Facebook doesn't...
I just want to say a quick shot that I've been thinking about in this exact topic, which is that we always hear about this idea of like the lizard brain, right? Like
right.
The lizard brain. So like maybe like different parts of the brain are activated when you're
the reptile brain.
Right. When you have a certain mahalach, you're activating that
amygdala.
When you have a mahalach that's coming from emes, maybe we could look and do. I'm blind. Look, it's a suggestion.
Yeah,
shot.
definitely.
I suggest a shot.
Definitely, and the reptile brain, the amygdala, you know, and we love the brain. We love neuroscience here. We have the amygdala. We also have the pineal gland. Definitely, neuroscience is something that is part of the sugya, and it could be that like, it has something to do with something. Definitely. It's definitely possible, you know. But anyways, talk about Obama, talk about demons. We also are talking about Shadim and trying to understand, well, what are they? What are Shadim? And before we say that Obama is some sort of demon, we say, well, what is a Shade? Okay, right there in the Gemara. So Yoshev lo coats with Avoda Zara. So you shouldn't bend down and take it because it looks like you're bowing down, right? To Avoda Zara. Oh, right. I was just going to say the amazing thing that of the Shibud not understanding us is that when Bill Gates says, like, I was so shocked how people just defied authority. I thought, right, they thought we were just going to go inside Netflix and chill and just be like, oh my God, save us, government, save us with your magical vaccines. I mean, vaccines. We gotta, I mean, chisuls, you know? So they didn't realize that we were gonna research them in Shiva's Gula show. And now we're all over them like a cheap suit. But they're all over us like two cheap suits, you know. So there's a quote in the middle. If it doesn't look like you're bowing to the Avoda Zara, then it's mutter. So what's the thing? If you're walking past an idolatrous thing and you have to pick something up, so just turn around and so like you're showing it your butt. Right. And that will work for most Avoda Zaras, but not Baal Por. Baal Por, the way that you worship Baal Por is that you like defecate on him. The demonic is the dempanic is about to accelerate exponentially, says Joe Bill Scott. Listen, Joe Bill, I know what the dempanic is, but if you're trying to throw our way, differences between Democrats and Republicans, we're going to knock it right out the park because they're both two sides of the same impure, two wings of the same impure bird, right? The eagle. Oh, how about that? The eagle, the symbol of the Roman Empire, symbol of the Nazi, symbol of America. They connect the breadcrumbs, or both sides connect them. You know? So democracy is fake, Joe Bill Scott. Democracy is fake. It has been since the French Revolution, which was funded by the Rothschilds, the bankers of the Vatican, right? The French Revolution was not real. The royals, ostensibly in the French Revolution, the royals gave up their power, their leadership for democracy. But the royals, the elite, they call themselves, even though we call them the Shibud. But the elite, they still decide who's president. Our voting does nothing. It is a complete sham. And Joe Bill Scott says, Ani maskim me'achuz. Yeah, man. That's what's up. Joe Bill Scott up in this place. Much love, JBS. All right, so. Nitpazru lo ma'osav b'fnei avodas kochavim lo yishchev yitlem. Right? What if you dropped your coins? You shouldn't bend down and get them. Right? That's why I wouldn't even wear a mask. Because it looks like I'm being mishtachavet to avodas kochavim. You know? That's okay, some people like, okay, here and there, different sukkah. We're dining in a lot. What do you do? Like, get kicked out of a store again, like, get into another fight with some Karen. But in the end of the day, I don't want it to be nearer that I'm following these people. You know? Morris Ayin over here. He. Okay. Eno niram mutter. But if it doesn't look like it, it's mutter. Okay, so two things. One is picking up a coat. How do you say coats? Thorn. And one is picking up money. How do you say money? Cheddar. Yeah, mama. Oh. Ma'ayana Moshech lifnei avodas kochavim, right? So you have this stream, right? And behind the stream, like in front of you is a stream, beautiful, pristine water, looks drinkable. L'chaira, according to the Gemara, right? At this point, it looks drinkable. And so lo yishchev v'yishteh. You shouldn't bend down and drink. Why? Because it looks like you are. Vim eino nira, it's mutter. Right? Like maybe if you have like a straw, and everyone's like, oh, he's not doing Avoda Zara, he's just drinking with the straw. But if you're just like bowing down, going like,
Gotcha.
Im eino nira mutter. And if it doesn't look like you're doing idolatry, so then it's permissible. Partsufos hamikalchin mayim likrachim lo yaniach piv al pm v'yishteh. Wow. Okay. Mipnei shenira k'menashek lavos kochavim. Okay. So who knows what a partsuf is? A count. Yeah. No. Say. Well, you know the word.
I know it.
From where?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Partufim, is it like the... I'm really blibing.
Okay.
So
Pre-blibe, okay.
Pre-blibe. And I got two things. Oh, okay, so I know it's not that. The partufim are like the face, like from the faces.
Nice. So where do you know that word from?
Probably from Yechezkel or where we see the Maisim Ekava.
Yeah, from we might have spoke about it. Face! Yo, Joe Bill Scott coming in strong. So we know, and Shteig's nice. So partsuf, it means a countenance, right? Panim is face, partsuf is countenance. So where Shteig knows this word from is that we discuss them sometimes. Listen, I'm a Nigler Rebbe. I only teach revealed Torah. But if, in order to understand the revealed Torah, I need to dip into some esoteric Chachmas and Nister, I can do it. And, I mean, I can do it better than most people who, like, call themselves Kabbalah teachers. They're like, oh yeah, I teach Kabbalah. I blow them out the water, usually. But we're being humble. We're on live stream. But once I'm already saying that, so also I can probably teach Tanakh better than most people who call themselves Tanakh teachers, but not all of them. Whatever. And whatever. Shteigin. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so no, because like there are some Tanakh teachers that can knock me out of the water. There's some Tanakh teachers that know Tanakh back and forth. Like I can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, but Kabbalah teachers, I can take them. Some guys like, oh yeah, I'm a Kabbalah teacher. Bring him to Beis Medrash and Yeshivas Gula Shalom. We'll see who's a Kabbalah teacher. But anyways, that's where we know the word partsu from. But here it doesn't mean that in the Kabbalistic term, as many of you have inferred. In fact, it's like just straight out of there in the Gemara, right? So partsufos miklachos mayim. Now, if anyone's been to Italy, right? If anyone's been to Italy, they might have seen in some of these ancient, like, places, you know? Like in the modern history books, like, oh, what, this was built in the 1900s. Yeah, right. But we see right here how ancient these faces are, right? Sometimes you see like a face, and out of his mouth, he's like shooting water, like, right? And it's like, especially in Venice, you might have a lot of these, because in Venice you have water coming out of every crevice, you know? So, if water is coming out of the face that's shooting out water, so it says that's the partsufin, partsufos, hamiklachos, that are spitting out water, likrachim, for the town people, right? Lo yaniach piv al piem. You shouldn't put your mouth on their mouth, v'yishta, and drink. Why? Because it looks like you're kissing idols, right? Kiyotsebo, and so similar to this fourth example about the kissing idols, lo yaniach piv al silon v'yishta mipnei sakana. You shouldn't put your mouth on a silon, which we're blibing on what a silon is right now. You know, what exactly is a silon? But you shouldn't put your mouth on the silon, some sort of faucet it looks like, and drink, because there's a sakana, because of the danger. My eno nira. Okay, hon. There's a sakana, period. Okay? So we just had 4 cases. You shouldn't bend down to pick up a thorn. You shouldn't bend down to pick up money. You shouldn't bend down to drink. And you shouldn't put your mouth on the idol, the face that's spitting water. And the Gemara says also, because of the danger, you shouldn't put your mouth on this faucet that's probably like a public faucet, right? See, we were doing this way before. The Shibud said that
But you're allowed to drink the water.
You're allowed to drink the water.
Just not in that manner.
yes, exactly. Catch it in your flask or something. Okay, right? So it says Azor likanes. Now we're in Rashi. The Rashi, right? It says Azor likanes b'socha. So it says Mishum chashad de amri iu nami azil lemiflach, because you're going there, they'll think, oh, everyone knows that, like, they're doing like a big like festival for idolatry over here. So maybe someone will think that, and that, what's that? Marzai, right? Marit ayin for you Israelis. And Uncle Morris for you Americans. Next Rashi is Eino Nira. So Rashi says, the Gemara will explain what it means, Eino Nira, right? What?
Did we do the Rashi Yashav?
Oh, nice. Yashav lo coats. So it says, Rashi, Nitchav lo coats raglo. So he's walking before the idols, and then all of a sudden he's like, my foot, I just stepped on a thorn. Right? So you shouldn't like
take it out, bend down and take it out right there.
Right, you shouldn't like bend down, right? And be like, like, I'm bending down to get this coat out of my foot, right? Which is probably, by the way, not the bottom of his foot. If you think about it, they're probably wearing sandals, probably like walking through thistles, and it got stuck in like at the top of his foot or in his toe, and he bends down to get the toe, to get the thistle, and then idolatry, right? In Eino Nira, if it doesn't look like it, so the Gemara is going to explain what that means. Partsufos amiklach in mayim. Now let's see if I was right about the partsufos. Partsufos adam chalulin v'nichnas silon mayim achoreim. So you have an empty face, and you have like a stream of water, or a faucet of water that goes behind it, into it, and it comes out of their mouth. On that we say, he says, Kivi Yeshivish, Maris, not Marit. I'm with you, Gil Yosher. Maris, Gil Yosher. Heilige Yid, that used to be from Chispin. Gil Yosher. Awesome. Yeah, so he says, Kivi Yeshivish, I'm with him. So, we were making mechavein to the Partsufis. And there's a Bekrachim, it says, Derech Yoshvei Krachim, is Naheg Begedula, Lahachi Naka Krachim. So why does it say specifically, like, I said like in town, but like specifically in this type of town called a krach, right? It says because like they were the ones who like had these faces with the water spitting out. Krach, it's like a town, village, city. And it says you shouldn't put your mouth on the silon. It says sinor, pipe. Exactly what it said. Sinor mechubar bekarka. So it's an underwater pipe, and you shouldn't put your mouth on it. Rashi says shalo yivla aluka. It's a shinshu.
We have a gear to change
in Laz.
In the Dibra Maskil. Rashi does a gear to change.
Which Dibra Maskil?
Al Silon. Ein Gimel Silon.
Yeah.
In the Gemara, it just says Al Silon. Am I wrong?
Wait, let's see. Al Silo. Nice catch.
Thanks, bro.
Rashi says Al Gabe. Nice catch.
What's a shinshan?
A what?
Shinshan?
A shinshu
Shinshu?
is the way to say aluka, which I think is like, what are those things in water? Leeches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a leech. It might be some sort of poisonous thing. Oh. So we got one yid from Chispin here and one yid from Kfar Chananya. Moradik. Absolutely Moradik. Okay. So, okay, that's the Rashi. We saw the Gemara, we understood the Gemara, we saw Rashi just to get to fill it out. Now we're going to go back here in the Gemara. Oh, by the way, it's getting a little dark.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I just bought this
Awesome.
Zach. Now they can see. They think it's a halo. Right? That's what it looks like a little bit. But so my pshat in halos, just to tell the Welt, my pshat in halos is that they thought, they learned, the Sheba, they learned Karan or Panav, that Moshe had Karan, Karen, that he had horns of light. And that's where like the whole like Jews have horns myth started, right? But they think that we have horns, but we were saying no, right? And so that's why they have halos. Their halo is like, it's like the light, the kedusha, the shechina was just outside of his body. We're like, no, what are you talking about? Karan or Panav, his face was lighting up from the inside. They were like, what? The Kadesh, the Chaimer? What? You're gonna make the physical body kadosh? No. The Shebud can't have such a concept, so they put a halo on top of their saints.
Why can't they have such a concept?
Because because they don't believe in being Mekadesh the Chomer. They believe it. They Shebud. They don't believe in making the ability to make the physical holy, because the physical, according to the Shebud, according to the Satanists, the physical is just tests from Satan. It's just tests from the Satan, and so there's no way to make it holy because it's out of the domain of God. And we're like, we can take the physical and make it kadosh. And that's why Jews can get married and have kids, right? And uplift the Yetzer Hara, or uplift that impulse of sex and stuff, because like food also, right? And they can't get married in the Roman Catholics. Like they want to be holy. The Roman Catholic Shebud priests want to be holy. They can't have sex. It's physical pleasures by definition in the domain of Satan. Now that's their like priests. Now we know that their priests are like raping little boys all day long. You know?
That didn't work out, that theory.
All day long. But that's what they really believe. But there is this idea that when Constantine accepted Christianity into the Roman Empire, it was really just for show, and like the real, like the leading elite and the small group of leaders in the Roman Catholics are really not Christian at all, but they're really pagan, and that would make sense why they're raping little kids, because that's Molech, right? Okay. Anyways, so what is the sakana that they're talking about? Ask the Gemara. Mimnei sakana mai. I don't know. Mai aina nira. No, sorry. What does it mean that it doesn't look like he's doing idolatry? Then you can take the thorn out of your foot, right? Ilema. Shteigin, you see that little dot over there? By the Elema?
No dot by the Elema.
Your dot lives in Detroit? Let me see.
Oh wait, I do have a little.
You do have that. I knew it.
With
With a line through it.
Yeah, I do have that dot.
What does that go to? It doesn't. It's not going to be able to guess based on what's on the side. I mean, you can guess.
I'm gonna do process of elimination.
Okay, process of elimination.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna blibe.
Good blibe. Always right when you're blibing. That is a sign of a note from Reb Ki Veigich. Reb Ki Veigich. Reb Ki Veigich. And so that means Reb Ki Veigich, right?
That's the Haga'is.
That's good in a shas.
Gillian the shots. Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. Chazah. So Ilema, if you're going to come and say the lo mitchazi, because it doesn't see. Okay, we're not sure what that means. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. But didn't Rav Yehuda say the name of Rav? Kol makom she'azu chamim mipnei maris ha'ayin. See, it's Morris. Mipnei maris ha'ayin. Afilu b'chedrei chadarim aser. So, okay, so the lo mitchazi. Okay, got it. If you're going to say that, it doesn't look like you're doing Avoda Zara because no one is around to see you. Take the thorn out of your foot. So if you're going to tell me that is what it means, that it's not nearer like you're doing Avoda Zara because no one's seeing you, but doesn't Rav Yehuda say in the name of Rav that anything the Gemara says, I can't go into McDonald's to go to the bathroom because people might think that I'm going to eat McDonald's, but it's usher because of Maras Ayin. So then even b'chedrei chadarim you can't do it. So in the McDonald's they would be like, even if there's like no people there in McDonald's.
What's Chedrei Chadarim? Like a room?
Chedrei chadarim is like the room, is like the innermost chambers.
Like no one can possibly.
No one can possibly see you, right? You still can't do it. So that can't be the pshat. That just people can't see it. Ella ema im eino nira kimishtachave le'avodas kochavim mutter. So it's not that no one can see you, but it's that it doesn't look like you're worshiping Avoda Zara, like if you're showing them your butt. Mutter vitzricha. I love when the Gemara does a vitzricha. So what did the Gemara just do, Zig? It gave us 4 examples, right? Do you remember what the 4 examples are?
Picking up a coin.
Corn, thorn,
Thistles.
coin, yeah.
Drinking from a fountain.
Nice.
And kissing the face.
Boom! 4 for 4 this year.
Was it drinking from a fountain or a river?
Drinking from a river.
Okay.
Drinking from a river.
Very
Like bending down, drinking from a river before.
I thought it was the pipe that you can't put your mouth on.
That's the 5th thing, which is not because of Avoda Zara, but because of sakana.
Okay.
Right?
Sakana means a danger.
Sakana is danger, right? And Rashi says danger because there might be like some oh my god, what's it called? Some hudigis?
Leeches, but it's
Leeches.
algae at the least.
Some buggins, might be some buggins in there. Buggins, by the way, is a reference to Rick and Morty in season 6. This past season, I don't even know what season it is, but Rick and Morty, they have Jerry be like, Rick, I told you no buggins in the house. And he puts it outside. So, bevakasha, shlach li email, shutzer, strudel, mail, nikuda.com. Got you. Now I also know who Joe Bill Scott is. A Heilig Yid. Majla was actually just speaking to your son a few days ago. So that was the 4 things, right? So we say it doesn't look like. So the Gemara says Vitzricha. The Gemara here is going to bevorn the question: why do we need all 4? Why do we need all 4 of? Why do we need all 4 of those examples? Tell me one example. I don't know. Why do I need all 4? The Gemara says tricha, and we need all 4. To eat on a codes, if you're going to tell me the case of the thistle, of the thorn, mishum de evger lemezal kamei v'meshakle. Because if you only told me that I can't pick the thorn, I'd be like, okay, that's fine, because I could just like hop a little bit and then take it out of the thing that was there. But if there's coins on the floor, I don't have that option. So I need to teach. So I need the thistle case, and then again the coin case teach me additional thing. Avamaos the low evjar emalo. Coins is not possible. I would say maybe not. V'idanamos, and if you're going to tell me to teach you about coins, the mamona, that's money. So you tell me I can't pick up money. Okay, fine. That's only money. Like, what a big deal. Whatever. I'm not going to be able to pick up my nickel, right? Even if it's like a gold coin, like still, like I'm not. Like I rather lose that than do idolatry, right? You say, oh, there's a fine. I'd rather lose the fine than wear a mask, and do idolatry. So, so there, it's like, fine, if you only taught me money, okay, but I would say, but it quotes, if it's a thistle, it's actually, the guy's in pain. Look how early it's getting. Yeah, winter's just like coming fast.
We gained an hour last night.
But you would.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Last night was midlife crisis time?
Got an extra hour.
Daylight savings, whatever.
But you wouldn't be doing
Oh, wow.
idolatry, but it's perhaps the perception that you are.
Correct.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's the perception. And so I would say, but if it's in pain, so let him do that emalo. That's why we need both of those cases. Right? About coach, Sarah emalo. V'idanahani. Okay, fine. So now I understand why I couldn't learn thorn from coin and coin from thorn. You taught me those two, hani tarti, those two, mishum deleka sakana, because there's no danger. Aval mayan deika sakana, but a mayan, like this spring, right? This spring with an idol right next to it, and I'm going to drink from the spring, and I'm going to be, and so they say it's a sakana. There's a danger. What's the danger? Tilo shasi mace, right? We're not talking about nowadays in the days where Joe Bill Scott can just go to the store and buy a 6-pack of May Eden with no fluoride, right? May Eden, no fluoride?
Yep.
Yo, Joe Bill Scott, and also Gil, and also everyone else watching. No fluoride in the water, no fluoride in the toothpaste. It's true. The Shibud has got us. They got us by the short and curlies a little bit for some fluoride, but as much fluoride as we cannot drink, that's good. So that's May Eden, and that's Jason toothpaste. Okay, that's my public service announcement. And just a little bit of history. The first person to put fluoride in his water to make his nation more docile, Hitler. So, and I was like, oh, Israel does, and America does it. We're like, why are they doing the same thing? Because they're the same group. Because everything in the UN is the same group as Hitler. And it's called the Shibud Malchus. It's called the Roman Empire. And it's Pashtus. They say, what are you talking about? I say, okay, well, then Third Reich of what? Turned down for what? Third Reich of what? Third Reich of the Roman Empire, the Nazis were. It's Pasha. It's Pasha. Okay. So, if you're not going to drink, you're going to die. So you say, okay, fine, we'll let this guy drink. So you would say that, so if you only taught me coins and thistles, I would say, yeah, but still drinking you're allowed to do. Come on, you play boy that real, don't you? Come on, you can't get out on your fist. You can't get out on your fist shot. You play boy that real, don't you? Shout out to DK Donkey Cable. He's out. DK Donkey Kong. DK Donkey Cable, because nothing comes to share today, so he's Donkey Cable today.
We'll get him back.
Yeah, we'll get him back. Yeah, I don't know. I texted him like a little bit before share. I'm like, oh, by the way, Shteigin today? He's like, oh. He's like, no, I gotta play some backyard cricket with the kids. The Lake of Sakara, Ella Avamayan, I would say you can't do it. Emelo. Tricha, right? So I would think that you don't need the case of the spring, and so no comes and says you do. Partsuvos lamali. So now the word's like, okay, fine, I understand why I need coins, thorns, and and the mayan, nice, and the spring. But why do I need the face spitting water? Partsuvos lamali. Mishum de kabai lemisni kiyotze bo geschmack. Excuse me. Because they needed to teach me the kiyotze bo that you shouldn't put your mouth lo yaniach piv al gabe silon. Put your mouth on a tzinor, on a pipe. Lo yaniach piv al gabe silon. Sheyishta mipnei sakana. And what's the sakana? Rashi says it's an aluka. It's what are those things in water?
Leeches.
No, but no.
Leeches.
Like it is. That's what it is on a
I
luca.
don't know what a luca means, but
I think
leeches
a
are
luca
in
is a
water.
leech. I think a luca is a leech. A luca. Okay. So, anyways, so that's the sakana. So the only reason they taught us that fourth case of the face was to tell us that all those faces that say, "Oh yeah, this was made in like the 1900s," like actually way more ancient, and like it's like. So it's very interesting to know. It's relevant to the Tartaria Sugya that they were making those faces back in the time of the Gemara. Back 2,000 years ago, they had technology to make those unbelievable faces, you know, marble and stuff. Okay, Partsufos Lamali, right? Ha Tana Mayan the Ika Sakana Same Ka'azer. You already told me that there's a sakana that he's going to be thirsty, and still, by the way, it's Sakana Same. The Gemara calls not drinking water a sakana. Oh, so Joe Bill Scott, anonymous, hits us with an amobus. He says maybe it's an amoeba.
An amoeba.
An amoeba. Listen, Osmosis Jones.
I don't think they knew about amoebas that like then. You know, leeches they would have known about for sure.
Yeah, and aluka, I think it's a leech.
Makes sense.
What's an amoeba? It's microscopic. They might not know about the microscopic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I said algae that would grow on a pipe.
Right. I was thinking like rust, but I guess they weren't metal. They probably metal. Maybe they
Did we
metal.
look at Rashi yet, or not?
What?
We didn't look at Rashi yet.
Yeah, we saw the Rashi. He said, well, we didn't see the Rashi on aluka. We're about to, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mishum debai lemisni kiyotzi boloya niach biva gabe silon digabe mayan tana shechia velo tana hanachas peh. Right? If there's a mayan, if there's a mayan, a spring, you can go up to it and like you just shouldn't bend down in front of the idol, right? Hilgach lo shayach lemizni kiyotzi bo gabe. Right? You can't teach this thing about the danger about the. Gil Yosher says leech for sure. I thought so also. Leech for sure. Aluka, yeah, Gil Yosher. You know, he speaks Hebrew. He's Israeli. Gil Yosher is very Israeli kids, and he's also Israeli. And I think he was like maybe like a roommate of my uncle in like college or something.
Wow.
In YU or something.
That's amazing.
In YU. Listen. Tell me they didn't push the vaccine, and I'll take back my YU.
Why me?
Why me? Why you? No, but listen. We have a Talmud right now that went to YU. So we're thankful for YU for teaching Gil Yosher Torah, so you can join us and confirm our leech board. Shkayach Gadol. By the way, Joe Bill Scott, Amoba, we were just throwing out examples, but I think aluka, even in modern Hebrew, means liggity leech. Okay. About partsuvos, they're talking about hanachas peh, so it's not the same. So for that, you could teach us you should put your mouth on it. So we could also teach the sakana of putting your mouth on some pipe. The aser nami hanachas bed the ilu lishtos biyada with his hand. There's no sakana. The badik luhu biyadi because like he checking his hands. Oh, the JHU School of Public Health here. All right, so the JHU School of Public Health. That's where our good friend Joe Scott studied. Very gewaldig school. But you know, all things public health. Now, in the name of public health, they're telling us to kill ourselves and poison ourselves with this poison. Clickety clack. Oh, John Hopkins. Cool. I don't know. John Hopkins. You heard of it?
Yeah.
Good place.
It's in New Jersey.
Good place. Jersey. I'm walking here in public health. But it's in Baltimore. Nice. They've destroyed it. Who's destroyed it? We don't know. It's John Hopkins sugi over here. Baltzer. You're gonna have to hit me up afterwards and explain to me the Johns Hopkins sugya. But anyways, it means right, and also like we have another raya from the end because Rashi says that if you take it in your hands, the communists. Listen, the communists. Baltimore. Oh, Baltzar is Baltimore. Yeah. Communists, fascists. Do you think they were really fighting each other? They were both on the same team. All these wars are fake. the same side is having them fight against each other for divide and conquer. It says, oh, now Facebook is giving me an ability to express myself by putting a Ukrainian flag. Get out of here, Ukrainian flags. All right, so there's no war in Ukraine. It's all fake. It's all fake. It's done. We know shady things are happening with Biden's son there, and we know shady things are happening with Ukraine, a bunch of Nazis, you know. Both sides. I hope they kill each other. But, like, all the good people. That the problem is that, and every good person that dies in war, every soldier, every kid that's sent to the war front, the Shibud looks at it as one of their sacrifices, one of their child sacrifices. So that's one reason they do it. Also, they get to make money, but money is not the main reason. Money's not the main reason. They want people to think money is the main reason. Oh, it's just all about money. Oh, this guy's just about money. Oh, yeah, Bill Gates, he just went into vaccines because of money. And now he's like doing the corona because money is not the ikr. The ikr is their control, and that's their religion. These people are religious. The Shibud Malchias, they want to cause misery. It's their mitzvah. It's a mitzvah for them to cause misery to the Bnei Avraham. These are Bnei Nimrod that we're dealing with. Yimach Shemam. Okay, so we're at a dot. Tomorrow we're going to learn a little bit more about drinking water, because I feel like it's such an important sugya about drinking water that we need to sit on it for a day. And everyone drink a lot of water, but no fluoride. That's Me'eden?
Me'eden is good. All the blue label bottles are...
Hold on, so give us Me'eden. What is San Pellegrino? San Pellegrino is good?
I'm not aware, but you know what there is?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
I found a list online of all of the drinks that contain fluoride in them that are out there. I'll try to find the master list.
Send it to me?
Yeah.
Send me the master list and we send it to the yeshiva WhatsApp. And
Israel,
if anyone wants to get in.
In terms of Israel, I heard the blue label bottles are good. Red label bottles.
All the
have
natural
fluoride.
mineral waters definitely don't have
So Joe Scott says the reason it's happening now is because they know they're dying in the next few decades. I thought that about Bill Gates. Bill Gates got to do something. He has all this money. He's got to try to take over the world. What would be the point of having all that money without trying to take over the world? I hear that. Bilam Gates, we call him. Anyways, everybody, piggity peace, much love, great Shteig. Hope to see you back again tomorrow. And we'll go weiter in the sugya.
Awesome, bro.
Much love, piggity peace, third base of Mikdash. Let's biggity build it.